Did you know you can catch all the best moments from the show on all our social media platforms? Now, back to the studio with Rod.
Welcome back to the program, everybody, on a Wednesday morning, episode number 95. And we are recognizing number 95s in honor of show number 95. That includes Luke Mullender, Richard Dent, Matt Duchesne, Miles Garrett, and our next guest, three-time Grey Cup champion, most outstanding Canadian in the Canadian Football League, Ricky Foley, who joins us from Vancouver today. He is literally installing windows. How you doing, Ricky?
Yep. How you doing, Ricky? Doing good, Rod. How you doing, bud?
Hey, we're doing well. Well, these guys thought you were installing Windows on your computer and that it was taking a while. That's what they thought.
Guilty.
No, not quite. I wish, because it'd be pretty dry if I was in the office doing it, right? So I'm actually I'm in Toronto, not Vancouver yet. I fly out tomorrow to Vancouver.
Yeah. Okay. Myers thought that perhaps I didn't know where you were. You're all over the place. You're a busy guy, and I know you just hosted Riderville last month in Toronto. You're doing the same thing this Friday night in Vancouver as the Riders get set to take on the Lions. Tell us a little bit about how those parties go and how much you're looking forward to Friday's game.
Yeah, I mean, selfishly, it's always great for me. It's kind of, now that I'm retired, it gives me a taste of, the fan base in Riderville, which you guys already know. Best part of my career that I've experienced. So last week was pretty cool because, my family, my mom and my dad, they miss it probably more than I do. And they got a chance to just go up the street down the 401 to downtown Toronto and saw the game and got a big Riders win. And they got to see a lot of fans that travel pretty consistently. So a lot of old friends they got to run into. So it's a great time. You already know what it is with Riderville. It's kind of just like mini Saskatchewan, mini Regina, mini Saskatoon. So I love doing it in Vancouver. That's kind of my second city, and I can't wait.
I'm going to try and go in order here with my questions, but huge news last week with the Argos replacing Jim Popp with Pinball Clemons, and then Murph named to the management team, and I think Corey Chalin seems to hang in the balance. What's your take on what's happening with the 2-12 Argos?
Oh, man, like off the air or on the air, I'm still, I guess, technically an Argo alumni, so I don't want to say too much, but facts are what they are. It's been terrible this year, and I think something needed to happen. I'm not the biggest fan of Jim Popp. I think that's a big step in the right direction. It's just that might be a little personal between the two, but quite frankly, man, you just can't treat some of the veteran guys who were on that organization for such a long time. Oh, phone might drop there. You just can't get rid of some of those guys the way they did and expect that, you don't treat people the right way, that it's going to work out, right? So I think Pinball being in there, they couldn't have a better guy. And I'm kind of looking forward to seeing Coach Chamberlain hopefully be given the freedom to kind of go back to coaching the way that I'm used to and I think he's best at.
It's funny you say that. If you've been with the Argos and you've won championships with them and been around pinball, there are literally people that think that he's not prepared for this or won't be a success. I'm like, then you've never met the guy. I mean, talk about what you think pinball will bring as a GM.
Honestly, what I think the biggest thing like Pinball's going to do, other than like what everybody knows his attributes. Everybody knows his energy. Everybody knows his positivity. Everybody knows his motivational qualities. Of course, his football knowledge. But the biggest thing I think he's going to do for a lot of people in that organization and some of the MLSE new football people who aren't used to football or don't have as much knowledge, Pinball's going to take a lot of pressure off people. I'm hoping that it gives Chame the opportunity now to just coach and not kind of be in the spotlight. There's not going to be big spotlight on too many people right now for the rest of the season, the off season, leading into next year, other than Michael Pinball Clemons. And, obviously he's cool with that. He's used to that attention and, taking that pressure. So I think that's going to be a big thing people aren't talking about is, allowing the guys just kind of do their thing, do what they need to do and not worry about, all the scrutiny that, has been, rightfully or wrongfully on them all year.
Ricky, I'm curious to know, and I know you've been hired by the Riders to go to Riderville out there, but when you go to these games, you're alumni of both the Lions. You had some great years with them, and you won a great cup here in Saskatchewan as well. What's it like when you go back and you're at a game like that? How does that tug at a guy's heartstrings? Because you got allegiances to both. Are you cheering for players, coaches, or are you pulling for one team or the other?
It's kind of tough. I mean, honestly, but well, first of all, the Riders are paying some bills, so they're going to get my, so that helps. But no, it's kind of like cheer for your guys. The funny thing is, a whole bunch of dudes I played with in BC my last year, like Luch, who else? There's a bunch of guys that Saskatchewan has on their team right now. So I kind of cheer for my guys. Like cheer for Zach Evans. I cheer for a guy like Kilgore. I cheer for a guy like obviously Fajardo. Like, it doesn't matter what team you play on in the CFL. If I play with you, we were cool. You were in a locker room with me, and especially if we won. I mean, I cheer for individual guys. But when push comes to shove, my whole family, we wear green, whether or not they were, letting me host Riderville or not. I mean, those are the best years of my career. I wish it had been longer. I wish, I hadn't got traded back to Toronto. I mean, that's just the way it is. And it's the way football is supposed to be played. I never miss it. I don't. Like I said, my family does. I never miss playing football until I turn on the game. There's a game in Saskatchewan, and I hear the Saskatchewan crowd, or any big crowd, I guess. Even in Hamilton, like Hamilton's got a really good crowd going on. It's the atmosphere I miss. And second and long, and going out there with Chicky and T. George, Keith Sholigan, guys like that, and just going after it with those boys. That's what I miss. But if there's not green on the TV or green on the field, I'm pretty good doing what I'm doing. Like, today sucks, but yeah.
Well, Ricky, we had a great time in Sedley together doing that dinner, and you told some of these stories. And I remember the day you signed with the Riders or were acquired via trade, whatever it was. I interviewed you at I think it was CFL Congress. You were in town, and it was the first day we'd met.
At Delta.
And you said, this is the 33rd NFL team, and the thing I'm looking to the most is running out of that tunnel at Taylor Field. And that was before you'd ever played a game. So did it meet your expectations?
Yeah, and then some. Like, that's crazy that you mentioned it, man. Those are the things, like what hosting Riderville does, is that, I just had my first child, just got married, building a house, and you're kind of just so focused on like your new life, right? That it's just that what you just mentioned, like it just triggers the nostalgia and just the complete awesome feelings of your career. And it just gets you all warm and tingly inside, Rod. So thanks for always doing that for me. But it obviously exceeded expectations. The goal was to win that championship with all the boys who signed at 13 to come from other teams. And, rarely in sports does that happen where you just all come together for 1 year and the talent and the personalities mesh. So, you know what? Like I said earlier, I gotta kind of count my blessings, because I can say, well, I wish I never got traded back to Toronto. But at the same time, I got 2 years. So I got 2 awesome years in Saskatchewan. And, I'll always be probably looking at that injury for doubles in 14. We were a better team. And anybody you talk to who played, we were better in 14 than we were in 13. And we definitely would have gone back to back if Darian doesn't get hurt in that game in Winnipeg there. So, but awesome experience. It's kind of completed my football career. And truthfully, that's probably what makes this so easy. Well, not easy, but it probably makes things so kind of a little smoother transitioning into real life, because I got to experience that. And that's kind of the pinnacle for me in my career is, other than the 100th Grey Cup, because I was Toronto, but every home game in Saskatchewan in the old Mosaic that was football for me. It kind of made up for not making the NFL, right?
Lastly, it looks like your crew is ready for you to get back to join them. So how is dad life? Because, you talked about how your world's going to change, but you never know until you have that kid.
He's shoulder checking.
So, you're shoulder checking. How is it?
I'm going to tell you how dad life is. Dad, come here. Come. You gotta come. I'm calling you on. Come on. So, dad life, let me tell you, things. Here's my dad here. Here's my father, Don. I'm up high. I'm standing with my father, Don. I'm not actually that tall. It's way high, Dad.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Good, Don.
So that's my 75-year-old father, and we cleared about 1.5 acres of trees by hand. And it's kind of like all those things, all those experiences, man, they're coming back now that I am a dad. And I should have started listening a long time ago, because he was right. And I'm on camera saying it. But it's amazing. I can't wait to see them tomorrow. They're out in Vancouver waiting for me to get back to them. And it's the greatest thing ever. I'm so glad that I waited to have fatherhood after I got done playing, because it just is that new sense of fulfillment. And, it's amazing. You guys, if you guys for fathers, you guys know.
Do I have questions for your dad? Dairy farmer, right?
Yeah, dairy farmer. Like, that's where the work ethic came from, man. That's it.
We'll do it next time I'm in Toronto. We'll get together. Ricky, thanks for this, my man, as always, and all you're doing for the Riders. And we'll chat with you again soon.
All right, guys. Awesome talking to you guys. Take care.
All right.
You're watching Rod Pedersen On Demand. For more of The Rod Pedersen Show, visit rodpedersen.com or follow Rod Pedersen on social media.